Hi, it's Clint, the author of Pierce Theory, The Art of Eye Reading. Uh, Hopefully soon to be published. I'm working on the book, gathering research, because, hey, let's face it, you got to be prepared for any potential critics. You know, um, Sometimes a person that might be more negative, they'd be the type to rise up and say, well, what about percentages? What about this? What about that? So, I've encountered those things and uh, pretty much prepared to deal with them. So hoping to have the book out by the end of the year. Um, really focusing on getting it out by a month or two if I can. A lot of work goes into it. Making sure it's worded just right. I guess in a way that I think it's easy to understand. Um, Trying to be as simple as possible with the language so that people of different education levels can grasp the material and benefit from it because, you know, I'm hoping that it could be something that could really enlighten people, you know, or at least be interesting to them. Like, wow, I never knew something like that existed or could be done. And, possibly they'd be interested in trying to learn it, you know. Um, I feel like, it was a gift from God for me to be able to do it. But it was still something that I had to um, practice and develop and test and everything. Get it down as a science. I mean, I believe it's a science, and I'm out to prove it's a science. But just for the sake of any type of criticism or question, I call it an art and I call it a theory. All right, to me, it's proven. I mean, I've seen it time and time again. I mean, I've read thousands of people. I just recently started to really record them, for the benefit of stats and for the benefit of the book, which ultimately is for the benefit of any potential critics. So anyway, I'm open to answer any questions, any concerns. I do readings. Honestly, it doesn't matter if it's an old picture, a new picture. It really doesn't matter. I can look at the picture from different vantage points, get current, emotional, mental information. Get how a person was feeling and thinking at the time the picture was taken. I mean, uh, just a whole lot of information I can get out of it. So that's one of the questions people ask me, and they say, "Well, what picture did you look at? That's an old picture, or, I was drunk, so I don't know if that if you want to read that one, but I tell them it really doesn't matter because it doesn't. Ultimately, it doesn't. I can look at a baby picture of a person that's like 50 and still get current information from them, based upon the science upon which I base this whole art and theory on that actually works. And like I said, it's something I've done repeatedly. I mean, I had to test it. Okay, so in the book, I go into talking about ways that I tested it to begin with, where people didn't even know that I was testing my theory. I might say things in a conversation that I had picked up off of a person's eyes, and that way I was able to get a lot of confirmation without hesitation, without a person questioning, because it's just a conversation. They don't know, hey, he's gathering information for a book and to prove a theory correct and whatever. So, I did a lot of that, and I've also done a lot of documented stuff that'll be in the book. Some interesting reads, celebrities, politicians, things like that. I mean, ultimately, you can take the information, do with it what you like. All right, but I've really seen the beauty of this in being able to change people's perceptions, to change people's lives, to enhance their understanding. Um, Basically, I've seen it also bridge the connection because sometimes you have a person that, they feel like they know themselves, but the things I'm able to pull from their images or just seeing them in person, might be some things about themselves they're not aware of. So I've seen people grow from that. It's like, I really didn't think of it like that, or I didn't think of myself as being like that. And so when I check back with the person, a lot of times I see growth, evolution, um, a person blossom, okay, because they've gotten increased knowledge of self, knowledge of their emotions. Some people don't walk around not really knowing their hearts. And sometimes when that's the case, some people don't trust their hearts. Maybe their heart was broken at one point, which are things that I can see. And so a lot of times what happens with that is that people, their mind will step in, and sort of take over. But that creates an imbalance because according to your nature, you may be a person that was designed to mostly follow your heart. So you do need to pay attention to the wisdom in your heart and just consult your mind on the decisions you make. So I've been helping people to strike a balance with that. Consultations, parents and children. Relationships, all kind of advice. I'm able to give. For one, because of the vast library of information I've accumulated, of the way the human mind and heart works. Okay, really gives me a lot to pull from, to be able to help steer people in the right direction, to know who's around them, to know basically how they should deal with those people, in a way that could, if they wanted to, improve the relationship. Maybe sometimes it's they need information because they really want to solidify within themselves the need to cut ties. Okay, I had one situation where a lady was inquiring about her boyfriend. Now she had some ideas about him, experiences which I didn't want to know about in advance. Because I mean, let's face it, I like people to be amazed at what they see, the end product. So I didn't want to know. I did the reading and confirmed a lot of the stuff that she was thinking, but even gave her more to the point where she was able to make that decision that she did need to move on, and it helped her to get the strength to do that. So I hope to spread this as far as I possibly can to the world if possible. I mean, only time will tell. Okay, but anyway, until next time, peace.